Hello everybody. Today we're talking about something truly exceptional, the Yosemite civilization. Let's get into it. To start off, Alan Grant has made the most controversial statement of the century that isn't related to politics. What he said is that Velociraptor, Indominus, and Indoraptor all have an IQ of 97, which, by the way, makes all three of them, on average, smarter than 40% of the human race. I also have done my own test. Mutodons also have a 97 IQ. Their extraordinary intelligence did bring some expensive problems with this. 3 drones were taken down by Mutodons, even though the Mutodons ignored flying birds, which shows they know what drones are. Also, all 15 camera traps I set up were destroyed, nearly all of which were from one of the Indoraptors. So if you can subscribe to make up for this lost equipment, I would really appreciate it. Moving on. I know you're probably asking for proof. Well, let me show you something. This is the leader of the world's largest Velociraptor pack. As you can see, he is holding a torch that he had lit himself. These animals have discovered fire. They mostly have campfires, which, to be fair, knowing Yosemite nights, I can't exactly blame them. However, they also cook things. Cooking makes food easier to digest, kills most of the bacteria, so when they eat cooked food, they have a lot more energy afterwards. With the pack having over 100 members, you're probably wondering, where are they getting all their food? Well, they have domesticated deer. I am not joking. They have genuinely domesticated deer the way our ancestors domesticated cows long ago. There's another thing. This is the map of St. Mary Valley and Yosemite National Park. This map was made in 2022. Look at it right now. This is what it looks like now. They have rerouted a whole creek, flooding a small crater in the ground, which was then given a whole bunch of salmon. So yes, this little pond here is a salmon farm. This is a rough map of the pack's known territory, with multiple areas dedicated to food, 1 deer pasture, and a whole field dedicated to a leafy plant called hostas, which is then used to feed the deer during the winter. Living in a pasture, being given unlimited protection, limited space, and unlimited food means the deer are moving less but eating more, so they are a lot fatter, they have more muscle, they have more bone, a lot more fat, as I just said, and it just overall they became a better food source. But deer do have big appetites, so the Californian couple do have to grow a lot of hostas, which this specific type of hostas does grow fast and numerous, so they do get a lot of deer food. So yeah, the pack the Californian couple lead is extremely advanced for animals. We can't even call it a pack anymore, it's a whole civilization. The Californian couple also has 3 kids, which are naturally curious, but that makes them hard to keep track of, though the parents also seem to be annoyed by that. There is one issue with the pack, however. The 2 Indoraptors in this pack are both female. That isn't a problem since Indoraptors can breed without a mate. The problem is that they don't know how. So I had to come up with an expensive solution to keep the Indoraptor species alive. That was to create 2 more Indoraptors, both males. That way, when they grow up, they can be released into the wild and then start a family with the females, which ended up costing $50 million. So, I'm really hoping that this solution works. An old friend of mine did own 3 Velociraptors that were originally meant for combat. He has gracefully donated them to me so they can raise the Indoraptors I'm making. That way, the juveniles actually have proper parents. Though being raised by former war animals with no history of parenting will definitely make the Indoraptors unpredictable when they mature. Back to the Yosemite civilization. They're also not the only civilization in that region. There are 2 others. One, which is exclusively Velociraptor living north of Half Dome. The other is exclusively Mutodon, which isn't technically in Yosemite National Park. It's like 2 miles south of it in the San Jose Caves, both of which have discovered fire. These 3 packs aren't too hostile to each other. They do avoid going into each other's territory. My guess is why they're not actively attacking each other is because the one led by Indominus is between the other 2. I don't know much about the San Jose pack. Reason being is that they're living in a cave, and that's kind of hard to observe them without getting killed. However, I do know a significant amount of things about the other 2 packs. What the Half Dome pack has done is get rid of wolves and pretty much any predator they could. That way, their prey can grow numerous and they can hunt. This has affected the other 2 packs, and their hunting success has gone up as well. The Half Dome pack usually use spears when hunting. Velociraptors weigh 330 pounds, and since they can run at 50 to 60 miles an hour, a spear is very devastating with that much kinetic energy. It is a very efficient kill method. While the San Jose pack fly really high, often with a sharp rock, and then dive, usually dropping the rock onto their prey, which is typically a stab in the back or the neck, both of which are lethal. If they don't have a sharpened rock, they usually spin around a 180, putting their feet towards their prey, and land on the head of their target. Mutodons are heavy animals, weighing 550 pounds, being able to dive around 200 miles an hour. That is devastating. A headshot with a kick like that, instant kill, breaks the animal's neck. Though, their legs will have to be quite well at absorbing impact with forces like that. The St. Mary pack, although their primary food source is fish and deer, will occasionally go after large prey, specifically large sauropods that other super predators won't bother going after. At this point, the Indominus is just flexing its power. All of this shows that we were not the first, nor will we be the last, sapient creatures on this earth. It's humbling to know we're not the only ones who have theory of mind. Despite a radically different brain structure, these animals are just as intellectually capable as we are. Even if their psychology is different, they have the same raw intelligence. The Californian couple shows that we are not the only animal where our minds are bigger than our instincts. Indominus are naturally aggressive, while the Californian couple are very docile. I am not entirely sure why an Indominus of all species has become humble and passive, because that is a lot of instinct to fight. Only way to fight that much instinct would be fear. But fear of what exactly? I am not entirely sure. If you have your theories, drop them down in the comments. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Hybrid Research. There's not much info I can get on the Californian couple and their pack, because they're just too smart to spy on. So, I hope you're happy with what I managed to give. And I'll see you all in the next one. See ya.